I ain't tryna. I ain't tryna. I ain't tryna. Yeah. Shoes, I'm clumsy, made friends with the floor. 2 for 1, you know a bitch by 4. And 2 left feet, you know I always drop. First thing a girl did was a bop. And the whole damn cake and the cherry on top. Shook up the bottom, made a good girl pop. You ain't even here to party. Ken in the club tryna pipe a Barbie. I don't wanna go with the flow back then until I touch my toes. I don't wanna roll the boat. Wrist full of rocks and I hope I float. Big up yourself cause you know they don't. I chew cause they hope I show. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. Bitch on the after, you been the before. I've been the stallion, you been the seahorse. Don't need a report, don't need a press run. All of my bad pics been all my best ones. I wear the hat and I wear the pants. I am advanced, so I get advanced. And I do my dance and cancel the plans. Said boo, don't be mad cause you had a chance. Yeah, said I took it and I ran for it. I run it and I stand on it. Money on the floor when we dance on it. Shine bright when I put a tan on it. Said I took it and I ran for it. I run it and I stand on it. Money on the floor when we dance on it. Shine bright when I put a tan on it. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass. I'm a bitch, I'm a boss. I'm a bitch and a boss, I'ma shine like glass.
Screw that bitch Carol Baskin. Vanilla killer hoe. Carol Baskin. Killed her husband.
Instagram Live, but you gotta go to the screen. Can't be playing the music. There's feedback. Okay. Alright, so it's gonna sound kind of quiet, but on Instagram Live, if that's where you're watching. But yeah, I'm doing this thing where I want to reach as many people as I can, and I want you guys to learn whatever you can, because I'm trying to share knowledge, because I love you guys, and I just want to spread my knowledge to people's. So, I've turned my camera. Alright, welcome guys. So I said I was gonna start teaching from like the bottom up, and I'm only gonna do about an hour every Wednesday, because like, you know, it's just like mini lessons, something you can drop in real quick. Maybe you'll learn a thing or two. So I'm actually gonna start from like when you open Adobe Photoshop. Now I'm using Photoshop CC 2018. If you have a different version, there could be little things that are a little different, but most of the Photoshops kind of like start up the same, and like the basics are the same. Your layout may look different from mine. I can get into that in a bit. But first things first, let me teach you how to open up a canvas. So you want to go to File and hit New. Now, as you can see, Photoshop is all about hotkeys. Like, this is how you're going to speed up your process. You can see on the side, it says Control N. I don't know if y'all can see. You guys can't see on Instagram. You guys can imagine it. But yeah, File, Control N does the same thing. Now let me explain a little bit about what's going on here. Yeah, I'm sad that like the live doesn't show enough, but yeah, check out my Twitch if you want to see what's really going on, seriously. Link in my bio. So yeah, you can pre-name your file. I never do this because I just don't. These are your dimensions, and if you accidentally put the height and the width in the wrong box, you can always click this button to make it portrait or landscape. Like, this will tell you whether it's a portrait or landscape position. Now you might, like, I don't know how beginner you guys are, so I'm gonna try to teach as beginner as possible. Pixels are pretty much just the units that are used digitally. These are digital units. You can always work in inches, centimeters, millimeters. It depends on what you're doing. If you're making a poster, maybe it's easier to work in inches, because then you can just write in like 11 by 17, and then that's your canvas. But yeah, for the sake of this, we're just gonna work in pixels. I like to go with some even numbers, so I go like 5,000 by 3,000 pixels. And resolution, your default's probably gonna be 72. Resolution is pretty much like your pixel per inch, and it's, if you plan to print things, like if you want to print things on paper or as a poster, you're gonna want to work on 300 like DPI or resolution, because basically this is like pixels per inch, so it's like how much detail are you gonna be able to see in the image. 72, it'll be like working smaller, and if you were to blow that up, it'll be very blurry. So yeah, I typically work in 300 all the time, actually. So like 300 DPI, just because I never know, maybe I want to print it, who knows. My computer's pretty strong. So yeah, I'm gonna work in 300. So just gonna hit create or enter, and boom, there's your canvas. Blank canvas. So intimidating. Like, who here hates freaking blank paper and drawing? Sometimes what I'll do is like I'll make it gray, So I'll teach you how to do that in a sec, but your first layer is always gonna be background and lock. So a few things you can do is you can duplicate it. Everything in Photoshop you can do by clicking things, like right click or like going to the tabs up here. But you know, I'm gonna teach you guys to be efficient because that's why we're here, to learn tricks to be faster, stronger, harder, you know? So instead of going to right click, duplicate layer, and then it opens up the stupid box and you're like, I don't even know what these are, whatever, and then you can hit OK and it makes another layer. That takes way too many clicks and way too long. So I'm just gonna delete that. Instead, hit Control J. Boom, done. Duplicated the layer I was just on. Control J, guys. I'm telling you. Now, for those of you that are very, very beginner to Photoshop, like I said, I'm trying to work from the ground up. I'm gonna explain layers to you using pictures. So don't worry about all these fancy things that I'm doing here. Just testing out my brush. I'm gonna try to explain layers to you. Because, I don't know, maybe to most people layers make sense, but people that are, you know, very new to the program, maybe they don't even know computer stuff that well. Who knows, but they want to do digital art. That's totally fine, because here I am to tell you what's up. Yes, this will be in the VODs. I should probably download it, but... Alright, so, think of layers as kind of like... I'm making up this analogy like on the spot. I did not write anything down preemptively. I was like, you know what? I want to start doing lessons on Wednesdays on Photoshop. So here it is. This is the nitty gritty from the top of my head how I'm going to explain layers. So you can kind of think of layers as like either like a cake. So I'm going to draw a cake here. You know, cake's got layers, or like onions. You know, ogres have layers like onions. Yes, onions, layers. So we understand what a layer is, but I'll tell you how they actually work in Photoshop. I'm gonna make another layer here. Okay. So imagine you guys got like pieces of translucent paper. I know I'm doing all this fancy stuff, but don't worry about it. So this is how layers work. Let's call this layer 1, layer 0. Oh my god, I can't spell. Sorry, I was like looking at something else, layer 2. Doesn't matter what the name is of the layer. Let me try to bring this closer. Doesn't matter what the name is of the layer. You can name it whatever you want. What's important is what's on top of one another. So if you have like a face here, and then on this layer you got like the hair, you know? I shouldn't have merged these. And then maybe here you've got the outside of the face. But then when you put it all together... Oh my gosh, I hope this works. Put it all together... I mean, theoretically it should line up, but I really was just eyeballing this. Hey, that's not bad for eyeballing. When you put it all together, when you look at it on the screen, it's gonna look like this. But in reality, it's broken up like this. So I'm gonna do the same thing right here, right now, on these different layers. Right now, I just drew these all in the same layer. So when I touch this eyeball here, it makes it visible, non-visible, visible, non-visible. I wonder if there's a hotkey for that. I should probably learn if there is. So I'm gonna make 3 layers and do the exact same thing. So on the first layer, And by first, it's on the bottom. Whatever's on the bottom is gonna be on the bottom of the cake. Okay, guys? Yeah, you know, like a stack of paper. It's on the bottom. So we gotta draw a face. Or like, you know, the head. And then on the layer above it, this is layer 2 of the cake. You know where all the good stuff is. We're gonna draw the eyeballs. We're gonna draw a smiley face. Maybe this face is kind of weird, you know? Maybe they're tired. I don't know, draw whatever you want. You're the artist, you're the master of this world, okay? So, there. We're gonna go on the layer above it, and then we're gonna draw hair. Ooh, it's got some crazy ass locks. Oh my god. Rapunzel, is that you? Alright. So, I just did the exact same thing as I did here, but like on the actual screen. Now, if we go to each layer, if we turn the hair off, you can see it only affects the hair because it's on its own layer. You know, maybe I'm just like removing this one little piece of paper and now all you see is just the face. Think of them as like translucent or transparent paper, you know? Like if you guys, I don't know how old or young my viewers in here are, but if you guys remember overheads, like they would use like the transparent papers to put things on top of each other. I don't know. Yeah, as you can see, they're all separate on different layers. Now it's important, it's really important to get this concept of layers because layers are they're gonna help you, they're gonna translate to a lot of other programs. Let's say you want to do 3D, or let's say you want to work in a node-based application program. Understanding layers fundamentally will help you learn those other programs. Trust me, my fundamentals in Photoshop helped me learn all the 3D programs in school, helped me learn Nuke. Like before, like I didn't know Nuke. It's like a VFX program. I just learned it at work and they were just like, oh yeah, it works like this. Photoshop is like the granddaddy of all programs. Like everything stems from Photoshop. I'm pretty sure. I'm almost positive. So it's really important to understand the basic fundamentals of layers and what they can do for you. Now, I'm not saying you have to use layers to paint. Sorry, I was just checking my messages on Instagram Live. Thank you! I got the Animal Crossing Switch. Anyways, where was I? You don't have to use layers to like create amazing pieces. Like, I know a lot of concept artists, they're very much into using the one layer technique because they want it to be as close to an actual canvas as possible. We'll go over those techniques and like workflows later. But I'm just telling you it's very important to understand the fundamentals of layers because even those people who use minimal amount of layers, like 1 layer or 2 layers, they're still using layers. And what oftentimes what artists will do is they'll use layers and then they'll merge it down. So, merging layers. You can select these layers. If you hold shift and you click on the layers, you can select multiple layers. Or if you pick the top one and hold shift and then pick one at the bottom, it'll select all in the row. Very similar to when you're using File Explorer. Now, if you want to select 2 of them, but not in a row, you know, hold Control, click. There, I selected these 2 layers. One little quick tidbit on layers again is now that since the hair is on a separate layer, I can move this hair. I could be like, oh, your hair is now on your ear. I don't know. There's just so much possibilities once you start getting the hang of layers. Super important fundamentals right here. Layers. No, I think today's lesson is just gonna be layers, okay? Understand your layers. Now, I'm gonna teach you guys how to merge layers because merging is also very good when you want everything to be together, because then you can do some cool tricks like edit them together or warp them, and I'll show you that in future lessons, of course. Some cool tricks. This is like very beginner lesson. Don't worry, as we go on and progress, you know, I would hope you keep tuning in on Wednesday so I don't have to backtrack. I can start showing you some more advanced techniques. Don't worry guys, we'll get there. So you can go to merge layers and that'll merge the layers that you selected. There's also options like merge visible, and I never use this, but I guess it just merges it to all the things that are visible. That's pretty cool actually. So if like things were turned off, it would only merge the visible layers. And then there is flatten image, which makes everything into one layer. That's super danger in my opinion. I never use it. I'll tell you what I use. You know, I showed you how the different ways of merging. Now I'll tell you how I do it. Obviously, I use hotkeys. What you can do is hit Control plus E. Boom, you've merged your layers that you selected. Oh yeah, and for those of you that are really new, Control Z is undo. Control Shift Z is undo multiple times. Because if you just hit Control Z, it just goes back and forth. But if you want to undo more than that, you have to hold Control Shift Z. No, Control Alt Z, sorry. My bad, Control Alt Z if you want to undo multiple times. And then Control Z to go back. Control Z, also your best friend. I think I love it too much. I Control Z way too much. I'm a bad drawer. I need to make a perfect line. It's a very bad habit, but also it's like my best friend. It's my crutch. Anyways. Yeah. So you can merge everything by hitting Control E. And then everything is now on the same layer. As you can see, I'm moving it all together. And when I turn this layer off, it turns everything off. Now, I'm gonna teach you guys a neat trick. Like, if you don't want to merge your layers, because for some reason you want to keep it to do like future edits or whatever, you can hit Control. Wait, yeah, I can't. Okay, I got this. I had to like test it out before I did it. You can hold Control Alt Shift E, and it will take all the visible layers make it into one, but put it on top of your existing layers. It sounds a little confusing, but you can see it right here what it's doing. Maybe I should just make this bigger. Nope, it doesn't make it any bigger. Wait, large thumbnails, there you go. I hope that helps. So I'm just gonna delete that. So I'm gonna turn off the background for a second. And yeah, if you hit Control Alt Shift E, it will take all your layers that are visible, make a new layer with everything in it. So this is a super useful technique in any workflow, because let's say you want to go back a few iterations, but it's too late, you flattened everything using the Control E method. So now you can't go back to your old stuff that might have been good. So maybe instead you hit Control Alt Shift E, you got everything you want together but on a separate layer. Super good technique. I'm telling you guys, learning some cool techniques right here. Yeah. Alright, so I think that is good on understanding the fundamentals of layers. Let me tell you why layers are also really awesome, because Photoshop's got this thing, and most art programs now have this, but let me tell you, Photoshop's the first to do it. They got layer, what are these called? What do we call these? Layer settings. So these like do really cool stuff up here. This little tab. There's like, you've probably heard of multiply. That's one of the popular ones. Overlay. As you can see, it's already doing stuff. You toggle through using your up and down keys. You're not gonna see much right now because this is more for when you get into color. I'll get more into it when we start learning how to color, okay guys? Don't worry. But I want you to know how to navigate this area. Right here on the side is opacity. You can change the opacity of your layer, and that makes things transparent or more opaque. I hope you know what that means. Science, guys. I learned this in science. So yeah, opacity pretty much just tells you how transparent something is. So if at 100%, it's fully opaque, and as it goes down, it will be more transparent. Yes. Fill. I don't usually use fill, but also probably good technique to use. It's probably more related to color. These things up here, these little icon, it says lock and then it shows all these other things. I'm gonna show you the best one. The best one is alpha lock. So what this does is it takes whatever lines you already made and makes a mask out of it, pretty much. So basically, if I were to color anywhere, it only colors in the lines I've already made. Oh shit. Oh shit, what'd I do? I just moved my taskbar. Go back down there. Yes. Okay. I went too crazy on the coloring. Now if I turn that off and I were to just color wherever, it'd be all over the place. But if I want to just color on the lines, turn on that alpha lock, and you can just make some clean color adjustments. And this is going to be super useful in I use this a lot in my workflow because I work in video game like concept art and production, so things need to be clean. So it's a really great way of keeping things clean. But I will also show you some painterly skills too. I can paint, guys. I can paint. So this one over here is lock image pixels. Let me see, what does this do? All right, so this one doesn't allow you to paint on it, but you can still move it. So sometimes you want to just lock things so you don't accidentally like paint on it or F it up. So these will help you if you have that habit of forgetting to change layers. You can always lock it so you don't accidentally paint on it. This one will stop you from moving it because it's locked, but you can still paint on it, and it's not alpha locked either. You can put multiple locks on these. It's up to you. Let's see, what's this one? I don't use this one, so I can't really explain it. And this final one is just an overall lock. Like, you can't do anything to this layer. You can't move it, you can't adjust it, you can't paint on it. Hence why it's locked. So yeah. I think the most important one to take away from this is the alpha lock. That's gonna be your best friend, I think. Especially if you like to draw anime, manga, cartoons, whatever. Alpha lock is your best friend. Oh yeah, so these are pretty cool. It's just to help you find certain layers if you have like a lot. I'm just gonna add like a bunch of random layers. So this will show you all your image layers. This will show you all your adjustment layers, text layers if you have it, paths. I don't know which one what that is, but I don't use this, but I probably should more because I've used so many layers. And it's just, it can help you find your layers more easily if you have a lot. I don't use it enough, but I should. So yeah. Are you guys feeling comfortable with layers yet? Do you understand the fundamentals of layers? Look at this. Does this make sense? The stack of paper. I want to like paint something, but then like I'll probably stop talking. Layers. What else should I show? I can do a little sketch demo to show you how I use layers and such. I'm just gonna delete these because it's useless. I don't know, give me something to sketch, guys. I got about like another half hour. What should I sketch? Cats, I got this. Are we doing a realistic cat or a cute cat? So I have my own brushes here. If you want to do quick access like this, you just want to use right click. I use a Wacom pen, so my right click is the up button up here. Whatever your hotkey is, it's just right click. And I have my own brushes. I can share these brushes with you eventually. I'm just too lazy right now. These are my own brushes that I've collected over time, and I'm just comfortable drawing with them. Okay, so we're gonna draw a cat, and as you can see, I have my layer right here. So just want to let you know, hotkey for brush is B, hotkey for eraser is E. Okay. Instead of going all the way here, but if you're one of those clicky click people, the brush is this one, the eraser is this one. Swear to God, you should not use the clicky click for brush and eraser. You're just slowing yourself down and making your own process more difficult than it needs to be. Like, you're gonna lose your momentum. Like, if I had to go here all the time in between lines, like, I would probably stop drawing. I'm just drawing a circle, guys. This is not an intro to drawing, okay? So I'm not gonna explain what I'm doing in terms of drawing. If you want more of that, come on to my Friday streams where I just talk a lot of BS. And I also tend to talk about my decisions and why I do what I do while I'm drawing. Whee! But I will show you why using layers is good in terms of this workflow. So I just use the control T. It'll make this transforming box. You can do cool things. You can skew things. I'll get more into this another time, but honestly, this is gonna be your next best friend. You know, this is what's gonna help you make things looking good quickly. Just gonna draw my rough cat. Just gonna draw rough looking cat. He's got a bell for necklace. Here's one way you can use layers. As you can see, this cat is very rough. You know, I just sketched it in real fast. Yeah, I didn't really put too much thought into it. I'm just like, it's a cat. But you know, maybe I'm like, oh, this is a pretty decent base, but I don't want to go in and like erase every single little freaking line just to make it a nice clean line art. So what you want to do is make a new layer. And this layer underneath, set that opacity to like 10%. So it's like kind of invisible. Then you go to the layer on top and you take like a better, cleaner brush, maybe a thinner brush, and you start going over it. Oh my God. Look at these techniques. So a similar method you can relate this technique to in traditional drawing is using one of those kneadable erasers, and then you just lightly brush over to make the lines lighter, and then you go over it again with like an inking pen or like a stronger pencil, whatnot. It's up to you. As you can see, I Control Z a lot because I am not good at drawing. I have to make the perfect line. Don't judge me. I just want to say now, there's no right or wrong way of drawing. Anyone that tells you so is an elitist fucking prick. You can tell them to F off, and I'm gonna draw the way I want to draw, you know? Doesn't matter how you get there, it's about the results. Just don't trace people's work. God. Tracing is a big no-no. People will spot that shit a mile away. You don't want to get put on blast by Twitter. Because they will spot you quickly. I just know when I was growing up and learning how to art. Oh, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I just remember when I was learning how to art, there was a lot of like, oh, like this is considered cheating, or like you're not a true artist if you do blah. Oh shit, I didn't even save. All that is total BS, okay? Like anyone that's trying to like make you do things in a certain way, you have to really like stop and think whether are they trying to help you or are they like just coming down on you because of the way you do things. Now there are certain techniques that, you know, my mentors would share and stuff, and the good advice would usually be the ones that's more targeting my fundamental flaws, not like, oh, like you shouldn't be doing it like this ever. It was more so like, oh, you have to understand that like these type of lines are best used here and blah blah blah, etc etc. Fundamentals. Yeah, I just want to say that there's no such thing as an original idea anymore. It's really how you execute it that makes it original. It's what makes it original is you. You are what makes it original, because no one's gonna do it like you. As long as you're not copying someone else. Like, you know, line for line. No tracey trace. And that is kind of the gist of my Friday streams. I get into these rants. And they can get pretty intense. But yeah, if you're up for it, come to my Friday streams. Unfortunately, last Friday I couldn't stream because I was too much in pain from my shoulder. This is a cat wearing tiny glasses, as I say so. Oh yeah, so what I just did was I used the lasso tool. If you hit L, or if you go to the click side, hit this, you know, cowboy lasso. You can circle things and select them, and then if you hit V, the move tool, you can move it around. So you don't always have to work on different layers if you have a lot of like transparent pixels around, blah blah blah. You know, just play around, man, figure it out. Sorry. I mean, like, I'll try my best to give you as much knowledge as I can, but you guys gotta still play around with Photoshop, discover things, see what works for you. I'm just gonna do my best to give you the knowledge that I have. I can't teach you everything in one night. I'm sorry. That's not possible. I can do my best, but I'm doing my best. Sorry. This is my cat. I want his head to be chubbier, so I will smoosh it. Yes, it's very important to flip your canvas. This is something you cannot do with traditional paper unless you use a mirror. But this is the perks of digital art. You can flip canvas and then see how it looks on the other side. If it's not looking right on the other side, chances are it's not looking right on the right side that you were working with originally. Trust me guys, I know it hurts your soul, but you guys have to flip your fucking canvases. Do you know how many artists I see? They got really amazing rendering, beautiful art, but it just looks wonky. And you want to know why? Because they didn't flip their canvases and checked if it works both sides. I'm telling you guys. When I started flipping my canvases, I actually started becoming a better artist because like I would need less adjustments every time I flipped the canvas because I was just already in the mindset of making it look more even. Yeah, like you can flip it upside down, I guess. Yeah. Use a mirror, use a one of those I don't know what they're called, but we use them in math class. I don't care guys, just flip your fucking canvases. If you don't flip your canvases, I'm disappointed. Sorry if there's young people here, but just gotta flip your canvases. It grinds my gears when people don't flip it. And I have some friends that are like, you know, really talented, but like there's some wonky things in their anatomy because they just don't flip their canvases. And then I ask them, I'm like, did you flip your canvas? And they're like, yeah, I did. I'm like, okay, but really, like, did you flip your canvases? They're like, no. And I'm like, you gotta flip your canvas, man, because like this eye is looking weird, and if you flipped your canvas you would have seen it. Like, you just been looking at it for too long, and that's why like you can't see it. I think that's why flipping canvas helps as well, because when you look at something for too long, your brain forces it to look right, and then when you flip it, you're like, oh shoot, it's a different image and it looks terrible. You know, so flip your canvas, guys. I set special hotkeys for flipping canvas. I don't really want to teach you guys how to flip canvases or set your hotkeys right now, so I will go show you the clicky click method. If you go to Edit, Transform, you can flip horizontal. As you can see, I set that to Control H. If you know how to set your own hotkeys, I'll tell you what I made mine. I don't use flip vertical, so I didn't set a hotkey for it, but flip horizontal, I set it to Control H. If you want to flip your whole entire canvas and not just the image, go to Image Rotation, flip canvas horizontal, which I set to Control Y. Now, I don't flip things vertically, I flip them only horizontally. I don't usually do the upside down flip. If I need to, I'll go to the clicky click. It's just important to see things mirrored. Also, if you find that it's hard drawing lines one way, sometimes if you flip your canvas, the lines become easier to draw. Depending if you're like right or left-handed, one side will probably be dominant than the other and easier to draw lines in a certain direction, because that's just how it is. I give him glasses. And give him these massive paws. Yeah, don't worry guys if you're not like the most comfortable with digital art right off the bat. Nobody is. Again, I've been using Photoshop since I was 7 years old. I'm 26 now, so that's a lot of years. I put in a lot of hours into learning this. I started with DeviantArt tutorials, and I started with like making these little graphics for when you go on forums. They're called signatures. They're these little banners. That's how I started. Hey, thanks for the follow, and welcome to the stream. Honestly, like my left hand is pretty good at doing stuff. Actually, I find sometimes my left hand is better than my right hand at doing some things. It's weird. And I'm like, am I ambidextrous? No, I'm not. I'm dominantly right-handed. Yeah, I'm gonna try to host these little mini lessons every Wednesday at 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern. So mark your calendars, guys, because you're gonna learn how to be a pro at Photoshop. It's not gonna happen in a day. It's not gonna happen in a month. I'm telling you guys, I've been using this since I was 7. It takes time. But every little bit you add to your little vault of knowledge, you'll just, you'll get better. Trust me. Art is not something that's instant gratification. So it's gonna be a grind. And that's pretty hard for the new generation. They're like, I'm not good at it right away. I don't want to do it anymore. But, you'll get that long-term, like, gratification. And you'll be like, oh shit, like, I'm so good now. Well, I don't think you'll ever really think that unless you're a jerk. But you'll be like, oh shit, I improved so much. I've come a long way. And you can give yourself a pat on the back. Trust me, I can show you my old stuff and it is nothing like I do now. It's not even a really good sketch because I didn't put much thought into it. But I'll try better next time to give you guys better sketches for demos. I'm not used to doing these short demos. I feel like I have a time crunch and I gotta make like something quick and easy. Trust me, guys, I can draw better animals than this. I swear. I'm a creature designer, damn it. That's what I do for work. Okay, so we can turn off the rough sketch that I did. See, this was my rough. This is my clean sketch, and you can see the lines are all pretty and clean. He's like scratching his cheek because he's like, I'm itchy. My cheek is itchy. Give him whiskers. It's a boy cat, clearly. Look at this masculine energy he's emitting. Maybe he'll have like a little goatee. I don't know. He's wearing glasses, damn. He can have a goatee if he wanted. Maybe even a mustache. A mustache and a goatee. This is getting out of control, guys. You can't stop me. Yes, we got a cat. Like I said, this is not a tutorial on how to draw, because, yeah, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm not here to teach you how to draw. I'm here to teach you how to use Photoshop. Oh, if you're wondering how I'm zooming in and out, you can hit Control plus, Control minus if you want to go in increments. What I like to do is hit Control and left mouse button, and then you can zoom in. Oh my gosh. Or Alt. Alt left click actually is better. And you just pull in and out. Pull in and out to go in and out. Yeah, that's as best as I can explain it. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Oh. In and out, guys. Just in and out. Get your burgers right here. In and out. Okay, there's time because I sketched this cat pretty fast. Let's try to sketch a different cat. We'll do a different kind of cat. So I just made another layer. I don't know, man. I can't think of ideas right now. It's that time of the day where I got like nothing. So I guess I don't draw enough cats. I'm like, wait, how do cats look again? Trying to like draw a cat that's like rubbing up. So usually when I sketch, I like to start with these like really loose like guidelines, like to just get an idea of like how things are folding and moving in perspective. You want to start loose, man. Loosey-goosey. Oftentimes, like, I don't even start with the head or the face. Like, I like to get the body looking right. And that's because I have a very, I have like an affinity for animation. I love how simple animation is and how they can make things read so well with just a few lines. So that's kind of the approach I take when it comes to drawing. I know this is supposed to be intro to Photoshop, damn it, but why am I telling you how to draw? It's just because that's all I have left to talk about for today. Yeah, as you can see, this cat has a lot more movement in its body. Than the last cat. My favorite place to start a drawing is actually like the torso area because that's where the largest movement is. And then maybe like the legs, and then like maybe I'll roughen a head, and then I'll do a more detailed head later. Can't forget about that back leg. Because cats have 4 legs. Unless they've got one chopped off, then that's really sad. It's unfortunate. It's rubbing up on its owner's leg. It'd be like there, it'd be like here. Person's shoe. Hey, welcome to the stream. I think like nobody's watching on my Instagram live now because Instagram live is just not the best for showing art. Oh shit, one of my friends just tuned in. The Instagram live is to really feed people to my Twitch stream if possible. Here is my cute cat. Hey, thank you for the follow. Oh wait, no, it's a subscription. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's because I have like a better following on Instagram than I do on Twitch. It's really hard to get. I don't even get notifications on Twitch to the people I'm following. Like I'll get them way later. There's no good notification method for Twitch, to be honest. So like people that I want to watch, I don't know when they're streaming until it's too late. They're done streaming. So Yeah, I don't mind doing this method. Does anyone else have those issues? Yeah. So from here I can start refining my lines instead of making another layer, because sometimes using the lines, your gesture lines is better because it has the most original energy. It's got the good flow. Sometimes when you go with a clean sketch, things get tight and stiff. You want to keep loose. You want to keep that looseness going. I'm very bad at keeping loose on my sketches because I'll always want to be cleaner. And it gets all stiff and then I'm sad because I'm like, this doesn't look as good as my gesture. But why? And I'm telling you, this is the reason why. I'm just accentuating the lines that I want to accentuate. Oh, my tablet's kind of like janky because I've used it too much. Just got a collar. Ah, yes. I feel like whiskers are like the defining features of cats, so you gotta have them. Yeah, so it's already 7:52. It's almost been about an hour since I started, and yeah, this is my first ever lesson that I taught on Instagram Live and on Twitch for Photoshop. This is the first intro to Photoshop. You can always check out my VODs if you missed out from the very beginning, because these are short, quick lessons. You miss it, you miss it. You know, you gotta tune in at the right time. Oh, looks like my... Oh, looks like Instagram Live is only an hour long. Interesting. Okay, cool. So it limits me anyways. But on Twitch, we're still here. We can stream as long as we want. But yeah, you miss it, you miss it. You can check the VODs, but, you know, I'll try to save it. Maybe I can upload them to YouTube. I don't know. I'm not gonna upload a whole hour on YouTube. Who wants to watch that? Also, I think that, yeah, I don't know. Should I do that? Then I gotta start recording things. I don't know. Would you guys be interested if I upload these to YouTube? I gotta start recording these like on my own desktop, because like Twitch will bleep out stuff if they hear like certain music. Yeah? Okay, guys. You're inspiring me and encouraging me, so now I gotta do it. Okay, but like my YouTubes are gonna like kind of suck in the beginning because I don't know what I'm doing, and then probably just gonna upload what I streamed, so it's not gonna be like edited all nice. I should just hire my sister to edit for me, but like I don't know if she would be down to do it, because she does editing on YouTube. Alright, I'll upload this to YouTube. Some of the sound might be gone because I'm gonna be downloading it from Twitch, and they erase some of the sounds at certain points if they hear songs that they recognize for copyright reasons. I don't blame them. It's copyright shit. So next time I do this, I will record it on my end so that I can upload the non-censored version. But for now, you gotta check out the VODs. Alright, thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your Wednesday. Happy hump day. Woo. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you learned something, even if it was one little thing. You know, I think the best things to take away from today's lessons was like the alpha locking, understanding the fundamental of layers. Like, just think of like stacks of paper that are transparent. When you remove one, you know, it's gonna take away that layer. As you can see, these are some ways you can use layers to your benefit to help you in your sketching workflow. Yeah, I'm just doing a little recap. And yeah, remember, layers are like ogres, and ogres are like onions. And onions are like cakes. Remember that. Okay, alright. Peace out, guys. I love you all. Check out my Instagram if you haven't. Check out my coffee if you haven't. Support if you'd like. Really up to you. Love you guys. Peace. Shrek. So good.